So we spent the 5 days on the ship just waiting and wrapping things up. We waited for the Coast Guard to get on board and check all of our documents, as well as some work on the lifeboats that we sailed with. But the day that we finally set sail, the energy that you felt was pretty cool with everybody. We were all really excited to like push off the dock and go out to sea. This was my first time out at sea of any sort, so I was really anxious of how the cabbage patch would be, because from upperclassmen and other people on the boat, you would often hear how in the cabbage patch it's the worst you're gonna get the whole boat. If you get sick and you throw up, it's gonna be then. So I was really looking forward to see how it would feel. But honestly, I didn't get seasick at all this whole cruise, which I'm really fortunate for. And it just showed me that being on a boat is not that bad. So after 3 days of being underway, we stopped in Puerto Valle to get fuel, and we honestly really do much. It was kind of nice though, because we had service, and I've never been to the Port of LA. To be fully honest, I didn't know LA had a port for a while. Like I said, I didn't really know much about the maritime industry before starting school here, so it was cool to see it. But yeah, we were all just really looking forward to like setting sail again and making our way to Cabo. But I snapped some pretty cool photos of the sunsets. Alright, so here's the thing about Cabo. I straight up just forgot to record. I had fun in Cabo. I mean, but I've never been to Cabo. I'm from Mexico, so obviously it was pretty cool being able to speak the language, being able to like eat some of my food, and just being able to show my friends around. It was really funny because some of the vendors were, not some of the vendors, pretty much I would say like 80% of the vendors were trying to scam you or upcharge you because they saw that you don't look like you're from there, or that they saw the big blue and yellow ship out on the horizon, so they knew something was up. But it was really cool because since I spoke the language, I would just talk to them in Spanish, and we would solve things out. It'd be like, hey, I'm brown, you're brown. We both know it's not worth this much. Can we work something out? And most of the times, yeah. Overall, my thoughts about Cabo are that for a couple days, it's not bad, but there really isn't much to do other than drink and party, which if that's what you're going for, that's perfect. But to me, that gets boring after like the third day, you know? So we were all just getting mentally prepared for the 3-week stints to Samoa. And honestly, I was not ready for that. Total of 17 days underway from Cabo to Samoa, and holy, let me just say this, I don't ever want to do that again. I'll admit that. Just 17 days of like what felt like Groundhog Day, where it's like it's the same day over and over and over and over again. I just was not a fan. It felt like every day was a Tuesday or a Monday, and honestly it didn't really matter whether it was a Tuesday or a Sunday or a Friday, because you were going to do the same exact thing you did yesterday, and the day after you were going to do the same thing over and over again. But the way school worked the rotation out for us is we spent 3 days on watch. We then spent the next 3 days on spec ops, which depending on what you got given to, it could have either been classroom again, basically, CC, which is like kitchen duty, or basically day work again. We had a couple other cool rotations like incinerator, which we got to burn the trash, water chemistry, which I didn't get to do this cruise, unfortunately. And then after spec ops, we were sent to day work. Day work rotation was where you went to go around and fix things. Most of the time, it ended up becoming hotel duty, so like snaking drains and fixing sinks, fixing leaks, and just seeing what the deckies broke. On our way to Samoa, I picked the prop train module, which was the transmission as well as the engines and the main propulsion system of the boat, as well as electricity, hydraulics, and a couple other things. I've never been good at electricity. I've never really fully been able to grasp it, so this was a pretty big deal for me, because on cruise, you have to, at least for the engineering side, you have to pass everything with the 70%. Otherwise, you fail the whole cruise. And you get 3 chances to pass a test. The first time, it's like a regular test. If you pass it, perfect, that's your grade. If you don't, you get to retake it. But when you retake it, you have to pass with a greater than a 70%. But the highest grade that you can possibly be given is a 70%. If you go and fail that again, you get put on a board with 3 other experts of industry, so the teachers, that are grilling you in questions about that subject. And you don't want that, because they can go pretty in depth with that subject. They're all pretty much all chiefs. So that's not good.
Em homenagem à graça, à beleza, o charme e o veneno da mulher brasileira. Moro num país tropical, abençoado por Deus e bonito. abençoado por Deus e bonito por natureza. Viver em carnaval, sou Flamengo, tem uma nega chamada Teresa. Sou Flamengo, tem uma nega chamada Teresa. Eu sou Flamengo e não desfaço de ninguém, mas em 5 brasileiros, 6 fãs do Flamengo tem.
That's a gnarly hole.
That's a top tier hole. This hole's pretty cavernous, not a virgin. This kind of looks like.
Em homenagem à graça, à beleza, o charme e o veneno da mulher brasileira. Moro num país tropical, abençoado por Deus. Chamada Teresa. Moro num país tropical, abençoado por Deus e bonito por natureza. Sou Flamengo, tem uma nega chamada Teresa. Uma nega chamada Teresa. Eu sou Flamengo e não desfaço de ninguém, mas em 5 brasileiros, 6 fãs do Flamengo tem.
Honestly, I found that the prettiest sunsets are in Samoa. Samoa is honestly just paradise on earth. I gladly want to go back there. Like I said, Samoa is by far and utmost my favorite port. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. It's everything anybody will ever tell you about it. It's that and much more. Samoa is just honestly perfect. we spent 3 days at every port, and on the third day in Samoa, I signed up to go take a tour of the Maritime Academy of Samoa. I was honestly not expecting that much. I was expecting maybe like a tour of the facilities. I'll run them on their basic format and such, but wow, I was not expecting at all what we were going into. I didn't record much in there out of respect, but we got in there. We got to meet the ambassador, I believe, from the U.S. to Samoa. We got to meet the president of the Maritime Academy, and as soon as we came in, they draped us with the flower necklaces. I honestly don't know what they're called. We got given coconuts, we got given gifts, and something that I learned is Samoans have some of the most beautiful singing voices ever. We were doing a prayer, and we'll play the audio. They're all sitting behind us, and they all start harmonizing and doing this. Like, I don't know if it was a prayer or a chant or whatever it may be, but it was just like the most beautiful sounds ever. I mean, that's something that I never expected. But yeah, Samoans can sing. We left Samoa under thunder and rain, which was kind of cool to see. I got to see a lot of lightning strikes. We were headed to the Golden Shellback Point, which, for those who don't know, the Golden Shellback Point is where the daytime line crosses the equator. If you cross right at that point, you're now considered a golden shellback, right? And that's a really rare thing in the mariner world. Actually, at the Golden Shellback, we had a really cool thing happen. Two of the LWEs on board, licensed watch engineers, got married at the Golden Shellback Point, which they are the first couple in recorded history to do that. So I think that's pretty rad. I mean, as far as weddings go, I don't think that happens every day. So that's something I got under my belt as well.
get this amazing opportunity to be witness and celebrate the marriage of Monica and KJ. And because you're on a ship in the middle of the ocean, you have nowhere else to go.
On the table, on the table!
You know how I'm going to do it?
I don't think he's a compromise type of person. He's
He's got it.
Let's stay
He's going.
Right there.
Alright, start to lower it.
Lower it slowly,
Ready?
yeah. Get the hammer. Put the beer keg back in.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, the full and folder places, you gotta use. We've already checked this. We're on the first.
I got it. Alright, good.
got to get off the boat every single day there, which was pretty cool because I didn't have to hold watch that port. And even though Hilo might have not been my favorite port, there was this really cool waterfall. So it's by Rainbow Falls, which I decided to walk there that day because I didn't want to spend $20 on an Uber, and I ended up walking like 5 miles from the boat. But it was cool because I got to see things. But you go to Rainbow Falls and you walk a little behind the bush and you go through like this little foresty area, and in the back the water is calm and there's a couple other waterfalls that you can jump into.
I got a shirt on before, so if you can.
When you plan on doing it? I don't know yet. CBA.
Columbia River pilots to come on board to guide us through the Columbia, obviously. And since the Columbia River waters are so bad sometimes, they actually get airlifted onto the ship now. That was really cool. I was in the engine room when that happened, so those are all videos I got from other people. But yeah, I mean, I got to see it happen when we exited, when they left, and I sadly didn't record any of it. But I'm coming out of the front house of the ship, right, onto the weather deck, and I just see the helicopter rip by and just shake everything. It was just sick. Yeah, the Columbia River pilots do the best. I'll admit that.
Dude, this is too easy.
Look at that.
You just need a teeth.
I did.
You just need to find an egg, a fossilized egg, and the DNA. And then you just like shove it.
Alright, so I won't lie. By this point, I was pretty fed up of being on the boat. I wanted to go home. So my whole attitude towards Astoria was, let's skip it. Let's just go home. I'd rather be home early. I don't want to be here. I'm not gonna like this. It's just Oregon. What's the big deal? Why are we coming here? But Astoria? not gonna lie, my second favorite port. I was just shocked. Astoria is like this little quainty, pretty town that's on the seaside, well, on the riverside. It's really pretty. It's like Pacific Northwest, which I love. I mean, Astoria was definitely the sleeper port for me, and that's what I've got. That's the general attitude. A lot of people, Astoria is actually their favorite port. But yeah, overall, I definitely want to visit Astoria again.
Up on the hills. Well, I got off at 2.
Heading out of Astoria, I don't think any of us were ready or knew what was about to happen. So it's only a 3-day stretch from Astoria to Maritime. So it's gonna be a quick, short little hop. We weren't really expecting much. However, we had a big COVID breakout happen on the ship, which was crazy. We think we picked it up in Hawaii because COVID usually incubates for 2 weeks. But yeah, first it was, someone got COVID. And okay, we isolated them. By the second day, or actually by the end of the first day, I think something like 20 people tested positive, which was crazy. So it was like 7 or so in the afternoon. We geared up the lap on everybody to get up on the helo deck right now. We had a big on impromptu formal with the captain in the middle telling us, hey, everything is shut down. Do not go to the gym. Do not go to the common areas. Stay in your bed. Go to bed. We will continue to do everything as normal tomorrow with masks, but all the common spaces are done for.
Deckhands and stuff.
So now I can say that I've sailed underneath the Golden Gate Bridge twice, and that's honestly pretty cool. It was really cool seeing everybody on the bridge and sailing underneath it. On our way out, we had families lining up on the bridge to count Maritime flags and Bon Voyage written on their signs, which that was really cool to see. It's cool to see the pilot boats coming up to us, other ships out on the shipping lane, San Francisco City, and yeah, I mean, it was the end. It signified the end of cruise, and I was all for it. I mean, 65 days out at sea, that is definitely a long time, and I know by some mariner standards that's nothing, but for my first time sailing, that was crazy to me. I mean, I got to see half the world. I was on the other side of the world at one point. It was cool being on underneath the equator, you know, the part where you're supposed to fall off the earth, and on the other side where I'm technically a day ahead of people. Like, I would not trade those experiences for anything else. Spent the whole day on the ship before we were allowed to leave. We had hooked up to shore power, we had hooked up to sewage, steam, all that, and I actually held the last in-port watch of cruise in the engine room, which is really cool because I got to see us take all the systems off the boat off and bring all the online things and all the connections on board. It was really cool, like the steam, the power, and since your boy here is a deckaneer, I was the one tying the hitches onto the cables. We hoisted the power cables on and hooked them up into the ship. And yeah, it was the end of cruise. And with that, Cruise 2023 came to an end. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you liked it. Like and subscribe for more.